Hey, what is up guys? DRC3 here, back with another My Hero Ultra Impact video, and today we're going to be showcasing this absolute gem of a unit here, the new INT Bakugo. Now, I had ridiculous luck when I pulled him. I did a daily summon earlier today. I did not expect to pull him. I did multi-summons before this and got nothing, but then on a random daily summon, I pulled this character. So needless to say, I was very hyped up. I was very excited, and I am excited to do this showcase. Like, I got him to level 85 so quickly, so I am just overwhelmingly excited to see how he performs. We are going to be taking on the VE Tower SS difficulty of the speed stage, the second floor against Present Mike and Kurogiri, and we're going to get to see how well this Bakugo can stack, how well his crits do, and all that stuff. So let's take a look at his kit really quickly, and then we'll hop into it. As you can see, I have him advanced leveled all the way up. I did do that like pretty much immediately. As for his ability boards, he is only up to the first unlock level limit on his peace route. On his basic route, I do only have him just barely awakened from Boar 6, so I don't really have too much investment in him yet. I probably will invest in him later because I want to see what he can do with his stackable. So just because of that, I'm curious and I want to see what he can do. And then for his DX route, obviously I have nothing because I just got lucky enough to pull one copy. And speaking of luck, I'm a little bit nervous because I never get luck like that, right? So I'm afraid I've used up all my luck, and now when the anniversary banners come around here in a few days, I'm not going to have any luck, so I might be in for some very long summons, but we'll see. All right, his plus ultra move is called Armor Piercing Shot Infinity. Deals 650% damage to a single opponent, medium chance of burning the opponent for 3 turns. That's good. That's a status element. That's what we want in VE Tower. And then here's the important part though. Increases character's critical hit rate by 15%, which is stackable. Now that's awesome, but not really useful to us unless we're doing like turn 2 plus ultras or turn 1 plus ultras, because we're not going to have that many chances to stack his crit from his plus ultra when we're doing VE Tower. So just keep that in mind. That could be better, a lot better probably, in like PvP, but he's just not high enough level for me right now to do a showcase for PvP to see where this character's at, because right now with where I'm placed in PvP, being in the top ranks almost up to legend, you need your characters to be level 100 at least, like max ability board, to even be able to take them in and have a chance of showcasing them. So eventually I will probably do a PvP showcase for this character as well as many other characters that I'm still just working on, and we'll see how they do. But his first action skill is called Armor Piercing Shot. It deals 350% damage to a single opponent, low chance of burning the opponent for 3 turns. That's another status element. It kind of sucks that it's a low chance, but still, it's a status element. Also increases character's power by 10% times. I don't know why it says times right there. 10% times. That's worded a little weird. I don't know if that's a typo or whatnot, but that is also stackable, so he's going to be able to hit harder the longer the battle goes on, which is cool. His second action skill is called Max Firepower, increases his crit rate by another 25% for 4 turns, which is amazing. That one is a temporary buff, and then increases his power by 10%, which is another stackable one. But then here's the important part, also increases character's plus ultra gauge by 25%, which is really good. Now his cooldown times are 5 and 6, which may not look the best, but it'll be fine because of his second auto skill, and you'll see here in a second. His first auto skill is called Swift Burst. When battle starts, makes character ecstatic for 3 turns, which is insane. Increases character's critical hit rate by 15% for 3 turns, which is insane, and speed by 15% for 3 turns, which would probably be useful in PvP. And then his second auto skill, Nitro Shot, increases character's critical skill impact by 20% when critical hit rate is increased. So he's just going to hit harder all the time. Also shortens character's action skill cooldown time by 1 for every 3 critical hits. So the fact that it's doing that means that it makes these 2 action skills above technical hits. So we got technical hits, we got status elements, and we have his cooldown being reduced for every critical hit we land. So these could potentially become like 3-turn cooldowns and a 4-turn cooldown if you land the right amount of crits, and depending on the order you use these action skills in. So actually not terrible cooldowns, has technicals, has status elements, really an amazing character in theory, but we'll see how he performs. Let's hop into it. All right, as we get into this, I'm going to be using Bakugo's first action skill. First, you can see he already has his plus ultra from the memory I have on him, as well as him making himself ecstatic. So that's pretty crazy that he can have a plus ultra turn 1, making him an insane VE Tower character. We're going to use his first action skill here because it has the cooldown time of 5, whereas this other one, even though it does increase our crit rate and it increases our plus ultra gauge, we don't need to increase our plus ultra gauge yet, so I'm going to save that for turn 3 after you've already plus ultra so we can get our plus ultra back quicker. And also because this one has a cooldown time of 5, that means the more crits we hit, this one's going to come up faster than the other action skill. Alright, so let's go ahead and use this, and then we'll do Sue's, and then we'll do Bakugo's, Fantasy Bakugo's increased crit rate. Before we go ahead and press turn start, let's take a look at Green Bakugo, and you will see that he has a crit rate up by 20% right there. That is from the memory, but then if we scroll down more, he is ecstatic for 3 turns, which increases the rate that his plus ultra gauge fills up by 50%, which is a lot. And then he also has another crit hit rate up by 15%. So just off the start, he has 35% crit chance, which is really, really nice. See if we land the status element. We did miss the burn there, and we missed the crit, unfortunately, after I just talked up his crit, but we'll see if he can land the normal crit, maybe. We did land the normal crit, which is good. Okay, so that's 1 crit, and I do believe it's worded in a way that makes it confusing for Bakugo. It says if you land 3 crits, it decreases his action skill cooldown time. I do believe that only applies to that character, and it's not all characters across the board, because that would be just a little bit too OP, because we would have already hit our 3 crits, and our action skill cooldown time would have been reduced. Alright, so let's go ahead and use our plus ultras. Remember, this one has a medium chance to burn, and it will increase our crit rate. And 53,000 from Green Bakugo, 50,000 from Fantasy, 13,000 from Sue. 53,000 from a general pool unit on turn 2, keeping par with the Fantasy Bakugo is actually pretty impressive. That's pretty dang good. Alright, his max firepower here is going to increase his crit rate, it's going to increase his power, and it's also going to increase his plus ultra gauge. Then we'll go ahead and do this, and then this. Kurogiri should die. Kurogiri is dead. And Bakugo was able to dodge thanks to Sue, and you can see he already has his plus ultra back up. Let's go ahead and take a look at his stats now. So he has a crit hit rate up by 15%. That's permanently from him using his plus ultra right there. And then he has another crit hit rate up by 20%, which for 1 turn from the action skill we just used. And then he has another critical hit rate up by 25%. Okay, so I think the 25% is actually from the action skill. The 20% might... What is that? Is that from the auto skill still? No, the auto skill only lasts 3 turns. I don't know where we're getting this extra crit, but we have a lot of crit basically. I'll have to think about that a little bit later, but yeah, lots of crit. So if we add up crit hit rate, we're getting 25%, 45%, plus 15%. So yeah, a pretty good amount of crit, 60% crit rate. So that is actually ridiculous. And then critical hit impact up as well whenever you have your crit rate up, so we're getting an extra 20% skill impact when we land a critical hit. So let's see if he survives this turn, how hard Bakugo's plus ultra can hit. We'll watch the plus ultra animation this time. It's such a nice plus ultra, 32,000 damage. I'm a little confused why it didn't actually hit more damage than it did right there. I thought it would hit more, but that's all right. Okay, we'll go ahead and use these action skills here. It's going to increase our crit rate again. Let's take a look at the menu one more time. So we should have gotten another permanent increase in his crit. So now we're actually up to 30% crit right there, which is awesome. And then we have critical hit rate up by 25% for 2 more turns. So that is a 55% crit hit rate up, which is pretty dang good. And I feel like I'm missing the memory crit hit rate in here somewhere. Maybe I'm not. Maybe the plus ultra. That must be the memory plus the plus ultra for the permanent. All right. So let's go ahead and do these action skills. Not very much damage right there, considering he's been stacking. I honestly thought it would be more damage from Green Bakugo, but he is hitting crits, so that's good. And now we have these 2 plus ultras. Oh, and we lost him. We lost him at the last stretch. So that's going to mess with our score a little bit. We could have had a somewhat decent score, honestly, if he hadn't died right there. Let's see how we did in the end, though, on crits, on technicals, on status elements, all that good stuff. So that took us 6 turns. We probably could have done it in 5 turns if we just landed a few more crits and a little more damage. We had 20 crits, 7 technicals, 5 plus ultra moves, 1 status ailment because we did only land 1 burn. That is kind of the downside of using 2 Bakugos because they generally have low chances to blind or land their burns, stuff like that going on. So while it's not the best score, I feel like we did get a pretty good look at what green Bakugo can do. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm happy to have the character, but I am a little bit underwhelmed with what he can do so far. Maybe if I level him up a little bit more, maybe if I try him out in PvP, I'll be more impressed. But as for PvE, I feel like he looks good on paper, but he's not as good in the game as I thought he would be. That's my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And if you guys enjoyed the video, please go down there, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Please help me out. Thank you for watching. Peace.